Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Controlled Burn, Rising from the Ashes to Forge an Unshakable Faith by Brooke Martin. Narrated by Brooke Martin. Dedication. For my sweet Emma Noel, until I hold you again. Introduction. Crash or burn. It was peaceful up there in the clouds, almost as if we were floating instead of crashing. The clouds were puffy, cheerful, a beautiful day to die. Brooke, I need you to listen very carefully. Do you understand? My pilot's voice snapped me out of my ethereal thoughts. He was urgent and, although one of the most skilled pilots in the world, a little panicked. Yes, I shot back with as much confidence as I could muster. I need you to put your hands on the ejection pull, and when I say eject, you need to pull it as hard as you can. Well, crap. Being a TV news anchor isn't as glamorous as many think. Who does your hair? Yours truly. Your makeup? That's me too. Where do you get your clothes? Well, usually TJ Maxx, if you must know. It's a life of deadlines barely met, holidays missed, and late-breaking news. Yet despite the stress and the long hours, TV news is a lot of fun. It also presents some incredible opportunities. Like that time I had to pinch myself while sitting in the Oval Office asking questions of a sitting U.S. president. Or when, giddy as a kid, I squeezed my tall frame into the tiny second seat of an Indy car to race around that famed oval with Mario Andretti himself. And I couldn't help but laugh when I stepped onto the court with the Harlem Globetrotters to referee their game. You see, local news might not be glamorous, but for me, it was better. It was adventurous. So when my news director told me the Air Force Thunderbirds were coming to town and asked if I wanted to ride with them, I jumped at the chance. It was 2012 in Wichita, Kansas, and I was young and gutsy. After hours of application work, precise body measurements, and medical workups, I realized this would be more than a high-flying joyride. I had strict instructions on what not to eat that morning and what to drink. I was warned by older photographers at the station that the physicality of this type of flight is demanding, even grueling. My nerves really started kicking in as my photographer and I pulled into McConnell Air Force Base early that morning, and I was presented my flight suit. It fit like a glove, and the small detail of having my name embroidered on the chest somehow made my head grow about 5 inches. There's no wasting time on an Air Force base, however, so I was quickly ushered into a meeting room for 2 hours of pre-flight training. The flight surgeon first explained what my body would be feeling during our time in the air, specifically focusing on when we would pull some G's. Basically, the pressure causes all the blood in your body to rush to your feet, and it's up to you to try to keep some of it in your head to avoid passing out. To even have a chance at staying conscious, you must do intense breathing and muscle work during the pull. I listened closely, intent on staying alert long enough to hit 9 Gs. Bragging rights, I was told. When the flight surgeon finished, my pilot took over the training, cool as a cucumber. He was a Thunderbirds pilot, after all. He went over the equipment and gear, briefly touching on emergency procedures. I have to go over this with you, but don't worry. He said it like an inside joke with a perfunctory, you-know-how-it-is tone. I chuckled and paid just a little more attention than I give the flight attendants when they're demonstrating how to latch your seatbelt before your plane takes off. I had been in my flight suit for just over an hour, and I already thought I owned the world. Finally, it was time to board, and I walked out to the tarmac where the coolest plane I had ever seen waited for me. An F-16 fighter jet. My heart beat almost as loudly as the engine. As I got closer, I saw my name stenciled on the side of the jet. My name! Some people peak in high school. I peaked that beautiful fall day in Wichita.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?